I'm just shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. 1 year ago, from the day that the Ultimate Warrior died, I had the opportunity to meet him, and he was by far the nicest wrestler I have ever met. He was such a great guy, such a nice guy. He cared for the fans, you know. You have these WWE superstars at autograph events and whatnot, and usually they have a handler telling you to hurry up or to just do what you have to do and get out of here or whatever. But the Ultimate Warrior, when I went to go meet him, like his manager would try to do that, but then Ultimate Warrior at the end, he was like, "No, I want to spend time with my fans." Like he was dedicated. He loved his fans, you know. He wanted to talk with them. I remember when I met him in that video that I showed you before this one. I was thanking him. I was like, you know, you're such an inspirational wrestler, and I was saying a bunch of stuff that was describing more Jeff Hardy than him, and I mentioned that. I was like, oh no, I'm starting to talk about Jeff Hardy now, but you're the original wild guy with the face paint, I told him, and he laughed, and he appreciated it, and he was just such a nice guy. And I remember after we took our picture together, he was curious, you know, what I was doing, because that was the weekend of WrestleMania. And he sort of asked that to all of his fans, what they were doing. And it's so interesting to see such a high standard wrestler, high standard celebrity actually care about what the fans are doing, instead of where you have the instance of like meeting someone like Dolph Ziggler or someone in the company right now, and they would just say like, nice meeting you, and then you would just be rushed out, like pushed out by a bunch of people. Ultimate Warrior stayed there, and he cared, and he loved his fans. I just feel totally awful about this, you know. In 2011, when on my show NYX Wrestling, when I started the Ultimate Warrior versus Randy Savage feud, and it was building up for WrestleFest, and then all of a sudden Randy Savage died. I felt horrible about that too, and I felt a little even more bad because at WrestleFest of that year, I was going to have Randy Savage lose and Ultimate Warrior become general manager. Ever since I started NYX Wrestling, I wanted Ultimate Warrior to be the general manager. And, I mean, his character, his in-ring persona is just incredible and electrifying and so entertaining that, you know, you can't help but you have to make him the big guy on your show, and that's what I did, and I'm glad I did, because, you know, NYX Wrestling, I don't think would be the same without Macho Man or the Ultimate Warrior, but especially the Ultimate Warrior, since he's been on my show for the past 3 years, which is, well, not him, his action figure, I should say. He didn't guest star or anything, but when I met him, I told him that he inspired me to do stop motions with his action figures and stuff, and he said that was really cool and whatnot. I regret not giving him one of my business cards or anything so he could see it, but I'm just glad that he was okay with me doing stop motions with his action figure. When I heard this news last night, I was getting ready to go to bed, and I just couldn't sleep. You know, I went to bed around 12 or 11:30, somewhere around there, and then I get this news, and I thought WWE or Triple H got hacked. I didn't believe it for a second, and then it started going everywhere, ABC News, everywhere, and it was real, you know? This whole day has been real. People tweeting me. I came home today from college, and I got over 16 messages asking me my thoughts. And I just think it's horrible. And I couldn't sleep last night. I was just so sad to know that such a A great man has left the earth too soon. He was 54. He had such a beautiful family, and I feel so bad for them. My condolences to them. It's just such a tragedy. Now, when Randy Savage died, I did a tribute to him. And the reason why I did that was because it was, one, the right thing to do, and two, NYX Wrestling wasn't finished. It still went along as planned. And so I thought by doing the tribute to Randy Savage, it would be a nice thing to do. Right now that the Ultimate Warrior has died, which is freaking hard to say, I'm going to make a tribute video with like some sad music and some clips from NYX Wrestling, but I'm not going to do an episode. And the reason I'm not doing an episode is because at WrestleFest, he faced Bret Hart, and one can argue that that was his biggest challenge in NYX Wrestling because of how hard Bret Hart was being a heel, how hard his character was, of course played by Captain McKay Random. And originally, I was going to have Bret Hart win, but I realized since the episodic version of NYX Wrestling would end, that would be a horrible way to end it. And I thought the best way to end it was having the Ultimate Warrior, the #1 guy in NYX Wrestling, win that match. And so he did. And so that was the final episodic NYX Wrestling event. And now I'm going to do NYX Classics. And so I don't tarnish the final match, I don't want to do one last episode in tribute. Because I think by ending WrestleFest the way I did and ending the whole episodic version of NYX the way I did is a tribute to Ultimate Warrior. Because I had no idea this was going to happen when I made it, but I felt when making it that I had to have him win, and I've had to have my own action figure come out and congratulate him because it was his biggest match, it was the last match, and that's how we're going to leave it. We're not going to do another episode where it's like Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton in the main event. We're not doing that again. We're leaving it as it is. This weekend, I'm going to have clips from NYX Wrestling and Ultimate Warrior and do a similar tribute that I did with Randy Savage. And so I'm going to close this video to say, Ultimate Warrior, you're my favorite WWE legend. I had the pleasure to meet you exactly 1 year ago, and I'm sad that you're not here a year later. And not only do the fans love you, I love you. We miss you. Everybody misses you. I miss you. The WWE fans miss you. The WWE superstars miss you. And you will never be forgotten. Wherever you go, and I'm sure you're just going to be up there with Macho Man Randy Savage doing a rematch from WrestleMania in front of the whole Heaven Arena with, Eddie Guerrero and Bam Bam Bigelow. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for the entertainment. Thank you for the fun. Thank you for the wrestling. I will always believe in the Warrior, and I will cherish this autograph for the rest of my life, as well as the pictures and the video. So, thank you, Warrior. Alright, guys.